but you have to go back and seek the promises of God for your life. You have to think about, what is God saying about your life? I came to give you a life in abundance. So the moment you settle for anything short of that abundance promised by God, you're not moving forward. And everything you do after questioning the promises that God has for you is true and right. So sometimes it's very important that you realize that you help your existence, you help the universe, you help the people around you and your family by walking in the promises of God for your life, by also being able to yield your own personal action to yield that to the promises of God. It's not easy to accept that you've made a mistake in life, but it's very true that we have all made mistakes in life. We have all fallen short of the glory of God in our lives. And by falling short of this glory, we are left to the mercy of God to remind us that we are His children, to remind us that even the people around us are His children. But what sets us at conflict with the people around us, what sets us at conflict within ourselves, is the fact that we don't operate according to the promises of God for our lives. And the only way to find about these promises is through the Word of God, is through seeking righteousness, seeking to do the right thing, seeking to please God, seeking to please our Creator, to live in our purpose. It's very important that purpose plays a role in what we seek, because at the end of the day, I believe we all have a purpose in life, and life, the physical life we have, is temporary. So we need to use that before we engage into the spiritual realm, the afterlife. But the beauty with it is, as we live this physical life, we live it under the spiritual realm at the same time. The physical and the spiritual are really connected in a way. And it's very important that we love each other. It's very important that we analyze our relationships and what we do, the things we choose to do, and make sure they align with God's purpose in our life. It's very important that we wait upon God. So many times the reason we choose for ourselves is because we feel God is taking long. Then there's the impatience is one of the reasons. Then there's the fear that God will not fulfill what was promised. Then there is the failure to even know that we are under a promise and a covenant and we are children of God. So I was really thinking, and I realized that as children of God, as men, as women, as a generation, we need to remember these promises. Personally, I believe I've moved away so much from these promises, and at a very particular point in my life, everything that drove me was how I feel, what I thought. I felt like I should do things as long as I feel like I want to do them. As long as I feel it's right, then that was right. But little did I know that not everything I say is right. No, none of my fears are right. But also, when I'm choosing to live life, I'm choosing to follow the covenant of God. And it's important that I realize that this covenant of God is true for my life, and I need to activate that power. I can't live in limitations. I can't succumb to lack, anger, fear, resentment. I can't blame people for what I'm going through. I can't think that there's no way out. I can't be depressed, but I have to turn back to the source. A very big part of my life and my practice, even as an artist, is seeking the source, going back to the beginning, going back to the reason, the meaning of what is existing, because a very big part of life is us manifesting what is not here. But when we see the world, we see the physical, the seen world, the physical world is made up of the unseen world. Everything that exists today started as an idea, an unseen idea that was worked on and developed. In every circle of our life, what we see is a result of the unseen. So every time I find myself in thoughts, every time I experience challenges or victories or celebrations in life, I really want to look back and find and do a little research about the source, the root of what I'm experiencing. Where is it rooted from? Where is my joy rooted? Where are my fears rooted? Where is my anxiety rooted? And the moment I realize that so much is rooted in who we are, it goes back to our Creator. Because it's very important for even any product to understand that any product holds the badge and the signature of the Creator. And as human beings, as spiritual beings, we hold a mark of our Creator. And the moment we understand our Creator, the moment we understand our source, the moment we understand the root of the relationships and the experiences that challenge us, the moment we understand the root of our addictions and our failures, we are best positioned to make a shift, to make a change, to be able to be the change we seek to see, to be able to understand that we have the power to actually move into the direction of the promises of God for our life. That is what I wanted to share. So, what are the promises of God in our life? See you again.